in the coach's back, discuss it away from the participants, and that is get everybody away, all the umpires together, and the calling umpire is the guy that makes the change and has to explain the change. There are going to be times when there's only 2 umpires out there. We know who changed the call, but ultimately the responsibility to change the call is the calling umpire. So you're not really overruling anybody. You're providing information that the other guy didn't see, and you may be able to help him with. So don't think about this as overruling. Think about this as providing information to allow the calling umpire to make a better decision. So think of it that way. And anytime they want to come for help or anything like that, it's got to be done like an appeal play before the next pitch. And there's lots of calls that are not reversible. For example, fair foul, where the ball stays in the ballpark. If a ball is foul, once it's foul, it's foul. So if it's foul, you can in turn rule it fair if it hasn't left the ballpark, because we don't know yet where to place runners. That may change in the future, but right now, if the ball is foul, it's foul. It can't be changed. If we have a catch, no catch with multiple runners, a catch, no catch with multiple runners, that can't be changed. If you rule the ball no catch, we can't go back and rule it catch, because if we do, we don't know where to place the runner. So you have to understand there are times when the game of baseball itself doesn't allow for us to overrule because of the nature and the way it's played. There are, however, plays that, for example, if you have a catch, no catch where somebody rules no catch with 2 outs and multiple runners, and the ball is caught, that would be 3 outs, and that's a case where we can actually change that with multiple runners. So just use common sense. Well, just use your baseball sense about which plays can be changed without affecting the game substantially or at all, and understand too that there are some things you can't change. Okay, there absolutely are some things you can't change because of the nature of the way plays play out in baseball. The next thing is point of emphasis and pace of play. The NCAA is really big on point of emphasis and pace of play right here. And most of the reason that pace of play is a problem is because we're not being consistent in enforcing the rules. Everybody needs to be responsible in enforcing these rules. And the rules that help us most with pace of play are the batter's box rule. Remember that there's a list of exceptions on the batter's box rule. Look that up. Remind yourself of what that is. If the batter can't leave the batter can't leave the batter's box, okay, and if he's stepping out of the box, just ask him, remember the batter's box rule or something to get him back in the box and keep him in the box. Granting time of the hitter can be done for 2 reasons. One is a safety issue if you're worried about the batter's safety. The other is if the pitcher is holding the ball with nobody on base and he's trying to freeze the hitter or anybody on base. He's trying to just freeze the hitter. Be careful in those instances that a hitter's not calling time to try to prevent a pickoff play when he sees something happen. You don't want to deprive the defense of their ability to get an out. There's really no other reason. Willy-nilly granting of time at the plate just delays games. So don't allow hitters to get time all the time. That'll keep the game going. Also, the Rule 9-2 requires that the ball be delivered within 20 seconds of the receipt of the ball by the pitcher with the base unoccupied. Please don't interpret this as I need to have a stopwatch or I need to be like a basketball official counting off 20 seconds. This is a rule that if the pitcher starts to it looks like it's more than 20 and you've got a couple of pitches that you know are more than 20 and it's becoming consistent, talk to the coach in between innings, let him know that you're having a problem with this and let him take care of it. If he doesn't take care of it, then you can tell them, look, we're going to have to issue the penalty, and if we keep that rule, we don't have that problem as much here, I think, in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic as they do in some other parts of the country, but keep that aware as well. There's been an interpretation for the definition of a tag, and this goes back to many of you might remember the Jason Varitek play when he chased the runner down from third base, tagged him. the base umpire, using what might some conclude was less than optimal timing, immediately called the runner out without waiting to see the rest of the play, and Varitek fell down. The ball bounced out of his glove and rolled away. In the NCAA, he would be safe, right? The fielder has to hold the ball firmly and securely in his hand or glove, with the one that he touches. If he touches him with the hand, it's got to be in the hand. If he touches him with the glove, it has to be in the glove, and it has to be held firmly and securely. And we're going to use the same definition of firmly and securely as we do on a catch, and that is we need to see voluntary release is substantive proof of complete control. So if in the action of the play, the continuing action of the play, as in the Varitek play, for those of you who don't know the play, Varitek chased a runner down in a rundown, dove to tag him, stumbled, tagged him, or as they would say in Pennsylvania, tug him, stumbled, fell down, and when he fell down, his glove hit the ground. The ball rolled out, a second or so after the tag, and they want us to call that guy out, and I think that's useful. It makes it a lot easier on us, so make sure that we have firm and secure possession. There's a clarification on obstruction.
Tony, you just said they want us to call him out. Well, no, they don't. They want us to call him safe.
I'm sorry, call him safe. I'm sorry. You're right. Because the ball came out, I got ahead of myself. You're right. Clarification on that. We want to call him safe because he did not have firm and secure possession. Thank you, Darren. Obstruction interference interpretations. This has to do with batter interference with multiple runners. If we have multiple runners and we have batter interference, imagine a play where you have, runners on first and third or first and second, and there's on first and second there's a double steal, and the catcher comes up and he tries to throw to third base, but the batter interferes with him, so he reclutches and throws the ball to second base and gets the runner out. Well, it would appear that the rule says that the first throw got a runner out. You ignore the interference, but we want to interpret the first play being his attempt to throw to third, which was interfered with by the hitter. And since the hitter interfered with him, he didn't have the opportunity to put the lead runner out. So we're going to call that ball dead at that point, and we're going to put we'll call the batter out, and we're going to put the runners back. Okay, and the reason for that is if we allow the hitter to interfere with the first throw, not allow the first throw to be made, but the throw behind the runner gets the guy out, then the offense has managed to get an extra base that we don't want them to have, and that gives them an advantage. Again, don't interpret this as if they have two guys stealing and the catcher throws straight through to second base and he's interfered with. If he throws straight through to second base without ever looking or making an attempt in your judgment to throw to third, then we ignore the interference. So that's important on this one. The wind-up rule, they want us to remember in the wind-up rule, the reason for this rule is the influx of Asian-style pitching, is the way they put it in the clinic, is the wind-up where the pitcher kind of pauses on the top, stops everything, and then comes again. He's supposed to keep his motion uninterrupted, but his glove stopping on the top is not enough. It's like a typical, we would look like coming set. That means the entire body. So if some of his body is still moving when his glove comes set way up on top, if his legs are still wiggling or his arms or something else is moving, then he hasn't come stop. That's a violation and what we want to do is warn him first and then impose the penalty, and the penalty is an illegal pitch. And we know that an illegal pitch with no runners on is a ball, and with runners on is a balk. Pitching conferences, if you go out to break up a pitching conference and the coach at the pitching conference is ejected, that conference is over at that point. On the ejection, the conference is over. if they want to have another conference with, if they want to bring another coach out to continue the